Denver Broncos Mile High View, no commercials, no bullshit from my bunker deep in a cave in Afghanistan. So we got the Lions game coming up. Not overlook the Lions. We'll get into that. We're going to recap some things. We got a death of DT, sudden death syndrome. Had an accident, went into convulsions, had a history after that of some seizures. We don't know if the clot shot was a contributing factor in that. It's viable. It's a viable, and if there's any truth to that, it would be buried deep, very deep. But in today's COVID clown world, that definitely is a viable. Would be a viable investigative thing to look into, especially if they're still in the experimental mode, which they are, that they would, be documenting all this stuff as possibilities. So we had that come on. Also, I want to talk about, I want to get into what this channel represents. It represents everything that the others aren't. And that, in my opinion, is sanity. Because if you keep preaching the same thing over and over again and nothing changes, what are you doing? I may be the old guy, but I seem to embrace change a lot better than those so-called young guys. We have Kolby, people going online saying the Broncos, and this has been going on for a long time, that the Broncos are just a quarterback away. I think anybody that's making that claim needs to have their mental faculties checked, because I was working on the Kansas City film review, and the reason I'm in my car is because I'm on my way to will be on my way. I'm close to the Home Depot, Lowe's, the home shop thing. I got so much. Again, I'm still up to my ears in work. It's plus my real job. It's like I can't even get these podcasts really done. But when I was watching the film, it was like watching somebody try to keep a dam from bursting. You poke one finger and then poke one finger to stop a leak, then another leak comes, then another one. There was so many problems. If you think it was just the quarterback, I honestly ask people to go purchase the NFL refeed, the Game Pass, and eventually you'll be able to see the coach's film too. But you don't need to always see the coach's film. You can easily see what's going on. Everybody contributed to something or another. The touchdown from Mahomes, you had Justin Simmons, it can clearly show you, leave his side of the field for what unknown reason. And we've been over this so many times. Clears away easily for Mahomes. He's the last stopgap. He failed. Offensive line, every single offensive lineman screwed up in that. Every single one of them did. All through the game. It was always during critical times. Somebody would fuck up. We have Sutton was, like, in my opinion, had one of the worst games. The guy couldn't block to save his life. Flags were thrown during critical third downs, going into third and longs. It was just one thing after another. It was a clown show. And to sit there and say that to sit there and say that the Broncos are a quarterback away is a disservice to your listeners. I mean, if you want some honesty, we're trying to give it to you straight, okay? And this goes all the way to the top, and until that cancer is removed. And the fan base has this quick. When I think what John Elway wanted to do, he's not an owner, so he's thinking, I got to do something quick. I can't think long term. I can't think long term. I can't think long term. Now we have a rabid, toxic fan base, and in my opinion, this one quarterback away is a part of that cancer. But you have a toxic fan base that's in that Elway mode of now, Ben Roethlisberger, no, wait, Gardner Minshew, just get Gardner Minshew, it'll fix everything. Fans better grow up and face reality. It's like a drunkard, like an alcoholic who doesn't realize he's got a problem. This is insanity. It's like you were online with one of these online platforms, and what did they say? They said the offensive line is good enough. And we've heard this garbage. I'm the old guy, okay? They're the young guys, and they can't get out of their old ways. We've heard this since Trevor Siemian was in. The line is good enough. The line is good enough. The linebacking, it's good enough. It's good enough. When will these people stop? I mean, when will this insanity stop? That's my question to you. When does the insanity stop?
I just want to talk about the point that you made about I really want to defend my position that I got put in timeout twice on the message boards. And I'm just going to say this and we can move on to the Lions. And I really want to get into the Lions because I believe everybody's overlooking this team to their own thing. I'm a young guy, okay? I'm the young guy, yet I don't get paid for this. I don't get all the all access. I don't get all this crap that you guys get. And yet I'm right 90% of the time when it comes to predictions on what's going to happen during a game in terms of draft process, film, free agency, all that crap. Yet I get all I say is I go on the message board and all I say is I've heard this story before where the betting odds, all this crap, we're going to get Russell Wilson. Didn't we hear that with Brady and Stafford? And you motherfuckers were the ones saying that fucking Stafford was a shoo-in. Okay, I say that on the message boards and I get fucking put in timeout because what? I'm speaking the truth. Yeah, I'm a young guy. Yeah, I'm destroying you guys when it comes to predictions on what's going to come. We ain't going to get Russell Wilson. We're not going to get Aaron fucking Rodgers. Russell Wilson came out and said he didn't come up with that list. It's bullshit. He doesn't want to come to Denver. Who the fuck come to Denver? Stafford didn't want to come to Denver. Brady didn't want to come to Denver. All these quarterbacks that everybody says, we are a quarterback away. Cordy Rourke, you dumb ass. You want to sit up here and tell me to my face that I don't know what I'm talking about. We tried to have a podcast. I'm a young guy. Yet every fucking time when you guys want to say quarterback, big Ben Roethlisberger, Gardner Minshew, Russell Wilson, they don't come here. Gardner Minshew didn't want to come here. Are you guys that stupid?
Hold on. I got to say this. The toxicity is so bad. They can't wrap their mind around what we're saying when we say toxicity. The toxicity coming from sports talk radio it starts at Dove Valley, sports talk radio, then filters into those online bubble chambers, those bubble chambers. The toxicity it's so toxic that they're all in that bubble in the tank there, in that bubble tank, just repeating the same thing. Don't worry about the offensive line. Ignore. We've heard that for 6 years. It just never ends with them. But I got to tell you this. I said toxicity. I said it. That I dared to say it's a toxic that John Elway fan base is as toxic as it gets. What backs up what I'm saying? What backs it up is that it leached out. It's like cancer. It grows. It leached out to Russell Wilson, and he was so friggin' annoyed by it. He publicly told you morons. He publicly told you. He's not coming here. No plans. Get it out of your head. Stop it. Stop your toxic crap. Stop your toxic crap. Stop it.
And you guys said Stafford was a shoo-in. And don't deny that. Roll the tapes. We have the tapes. This is how toxic the John Elway fan base is, and I'm not attacking every Bronco fan out there. I'm talking about a specific audience that cheerleads this bullshit that we're just a quarterback away. Okay. Yet you've been telling me for 6 years, we have all these weapons, all these weapons, all these weapons. We paid $85 million combined to 2 players that haven't done shit since they got their contracts. And who does that fall on? Okay, it falls on both of them, and then it falls on the organization, and it falls on Pat Shurmur. Okay, you guys said we ain't gonna go up 20+ yards. We're not gonna do it. We never said that. We never said that. Roll the tapes. Roll the tapes.
Well, wait a minute. They're the people that said they came up with this term. This is the term they came up with. Take the top off the defense. Take the top. That was them. Yes. And then they deny it. They say this shit and deny it.
Stupid.
No, they think they believe that their fan base is stupid.
Yes, and you guys cheerlead that crap. I'm not going to sit up here and attack people, but when it has to come down to it, I'm going to call them out because we are no bullshit channel. Okay? Yeah, we might not have all the fancy gear, all the fancy tech. We might not have the time to plan our shit, but we are dead set right on the majority of what goes on in this organization.
And it's not hard to be right.
It's not.
It's not hard to be right.
Oh, okay. I'm going to call them out. Mile High Huddle, Cody Rourke, 104.3 The Fan. If you guys were true to your audience, show the film, please. Show the film.
Well, we got a film room. I can't see it, though. We got a film room. I'm just asking. This is what I would ask. Forget those people and their stupid shows and all this. Their audience, the regular people out there, what I would ask is just please go purchase the NFL.
Yes.
Don't study it. Go study every single breakdown that happened with the Kansas City game. I did that. Not only did I break it down, but I audio recorded it all, and I'm putting that together. Okay, that is getting put together. God, at a snail's pace, I understand. But
you should be getting paid for this. No offense, but you should be getting paid with this.
I know.
But we're right 90% of the time when it comes to this crap.
Absolutely. And
we're batting 1,000.
There was something else too that it went along the line of these quarterbacks until in Denver.
They don't want to come.
I can't remember.
They don't want to come here. Brady didn't want to come here. Stafford didn't want to come here. And don't tell me that we were so close with that trade because Drew Lock, we didn't want to include Lock. Bullshit. Bullshit.
Yeah, and this tells you everything you need to know. Literally, Aaron Rodgers literally had to come out and go. Again, this cancer just leaks out everywhere. Aaron Rodgers had to publicly go after Mark Schlereth publicly and tell him, look, buddy, when I decide I'm going to go somewhere, you'll be the first to know. But don't be going out there saying that I'm going to Denver. Don't do that. He called him out personally, publicly, because the cancer just leaks and manifests itself. And this goes to Elway, and I want to talk about the owner thing just really briefly, really quick. There's one thing that may be a possibility that we don't even know about. I got thinking about this. It's possible that because Bolins they know they can't agree. They know nobody's going to get that. They may have already figured who is the owner. They may have found some owner out there already, and all this will be announced. It's possible that they've already done this behind the scenes. That's one. I'm just saying it's one. I'm not saying it's the end all. I'm just saying it is one possibility that a single owner has been already found, and they're just waiting to the end of the season to finalize it all, announce it, finalize it all.
Okay.
What's your take?
My take is that I just want an owner that holds people accountable and that doesn't meddle. That's all I want. That's all I want. I want this organization to get back to its roots. I don't want this PR bullshit. I don't want the Mile High Huddle, Cody Rourke's of the world saying we're a quarterback away because that comes from Dove Valley and John Elway himself. I don't want that crap anymore. I want to be a quiet organization that builds it correctly, that builds from the inside out. Okay.
And lets the product speak for itself. You don't need the PR spin machine.
And give George Payton the opportunity to do his work. Okay. We have our disagreements with the whole $85 million to 2 receivers, but I want to give him a chance. I want to see what he does. And if he doesn't do it correctly, fire his ass and bring in Adam Peters. I want Adam Peters back in this organization.
It would be nice.
Please.
It would be nice. So, okay, I want to play sports talk radio. I'm gonna play the part of sports talk radio. Okay. The Lions.
Little D.
Yeah, little D, Mac. The Lions. Okay, these are the guys that can't even break down our own team. Okay, you've been preaching the Lions. You've been preaching the prophecy of the Lions. I think if what you're saying is right, they're probably looking at you building whatever they can now to springboard that into next year. And this is a kind of, in my opinion now, this is the kind of game, go into Denver, beat them, make a statement that, we're going to be making some noise next year. So with that said, why everybody's the Lions over at the other places, tell us, yeah, little D. Oh, they're going to fire the coach. Tell me what you've seen on film with you've been talking about this almost since mid-season or maybe even before. What do you see with the Lions?
Okay, so I want to take a step back and look at the bigger picture with the Lions, and I like how they're building their team right now. They are building their team correctly. They went out, and the past 2 years they got some Jonah Jackson, Frank Ragnow, I think is the second best center in the football behind Jason Kelsey. They got
whoa, wait, my head's gonna explode. You're talking about centers?
Yeah.
What are they? Did they play baseball? Centers? Oh no, it's basketball. It's basketball.
Yeah. We have a center named Lloyd Cushenberry, and I'm gonna get to him in a little bit. Okay, well this guy sucks. Okay, Taylor Decker is way better than Garrett Bowles. I don't care what you say. He's the left tackle. And then they drafted a guy who I wanted 2 guys in this draft, actually 3 guys in this draft specifically, and they were 2 offensive linemen. Penei Sewell, okay, I said there was no chance we were going to get him, but if we would have traded up, that would have been a good pick to get. Rashawn Slater, okay, or Jamie Davis. Those are my 3 guys I wanted in this draft. Two of them, actually all 3 of them are actually playing really good football right now. I'm not going to take any away from Patrick Surtain. I think he's played okay, but for a first-round pick, we didn't need a corner at that time. But the Lions, they're building it correctly, okay? They're building it from the inside out, and I love the coach, Dan Campbell. I think that the organization for the Lions, they brought over a guy from the Rams who was draft and develop type guy. And I like him a lot. I forgot his name. I don't remember his name. My apologies. But what the Ford family did, especially the owner, they gave the full, they don't meddle. They're letting them draft and develop. And yeah, their record doesn't show that they're an up and coming team. I don't think that's the worst roster in the National Football League. I don't. But they play hard for Dan Campbell, and Dan Campbell preaches offense and defensive line play. And I think that this game is going to shock a lot of folks that, we can just look ahead to the Bengals. Let's not worry about the Lions. I'm going to take this game. I'm going to take every game a game at a time. And I broke down this team to the core. And I just wanted to say that you should not be overlooking this team. They won their first game last week, and they are going to build on that. And
well, you just broke up. I just want to say that I don't believe that this team is good enough. This Denver Broncos team is good enough to overlook the Lions. This team is definitely not a one quarterback away by any stretch of the imagination. So to overlook the Lions would be a huge mistake. And of course, if the Broncos end up losing to the Lions, it's going to be fire the coach. It's going to be, I want to talk about the coach too. I want to talk about the coach, firing the coach. You were in a conversation with Mile High Huddle, and they were saying, but our record isn't indicative. It's not indicative of a bad team. And it's like, the only reason you have a the record that you have is, you can thank Fangio, his defense. All right, part 2 of the interview on the Lions. This is what we got to deal with. Okay, we don't get the luxury, that the paid for sponsors get. So you just have to bear with us. And I would recommend starting off, you should listen to part 1. I think you'll find it very interesting. We get into the toxicity that is the Denver Broncos and why it is verifiable. But we're into the middle of the Lions, and I said the Denver Broncos, we broke the connection, but when you were frozen, I said that the Denver Broncos are not a good enough team to overlook anybody. This team is not one quarterback away. Also, see, I was on a roll too with the other video. With that, yes, let's get back into the Lions just real quick.
Okay.
You froze at about the time you were talking about their playing hard for the head coach.
Okay. I just want to apologize to the viewers. I don't have the best connection. I live out in the bumfucking nowhere, so my apologies. But going back to the Lions offensively, I'll talk about them offensively first. I think that's where I left off, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Their offensive line is getting better and better each and every week. They're eventually going to be a top 5 unit here in the next 2 to 3 years. I think that everything predicates them offensively from the inside out. Penei Sewell's a guy that I wanted coming out of the draft, like I said before I froze. Mr. Freeze made his appearance. They offensively, they run a power-heavy set, and I think that's going to cause problems for this defense, especially the defensive line in front 7 for the Denver Broncos. I think the linebackers for the Broncos are going to struggle in this game because they cannot stop power sets. And what I mean by that, they are a power running team. Jamal Williams came from the Green Bay. He was developed correctly behind Aaron Jones, and he is a very solid running back. And they run a lot of 3 tight end sets, 2 tight end sets. They attack the middle of the field, and they use T.J. Hawkinson, the tight end, who was a top 10 pick before Noah Fant. They use him correctly, unlike the Broncos with Noah Fant.
What I was going to say is, you were on the other platforms, and we were saying in the name of it, we're not just a quarterback away. They said the record doesn't reflect that. Now, I want to talk about the Broncos record. I'm getting away from the Lions a little bit, but I want to talk about that because these same people that are patting themselves on the back to point out the record, why is it that they even have the record they have? Is it because of the offense, or is it really mainly because the defense has allowed the offense to be in these games? You tell me.
I think it's the defense allowing them to be in these games, and I've been saying this for the past 2 years that Mile High Huddle, STR, and all these platforms, Cody Rourke, want to fire Vic Fangio. I'm telling you guys right now, you fire Vic Fangio, your record would be a lot worse than what it's showing right now. Oh, it's not because we have all these weapons, receivers, corners, clown car full of corners. Our record doesn't indicate how our record shouldn't be the record it is, but because of Vic Fangio and his creativity on the defensive side of the ball, and I believe those players like playing for Vic Fangio, especially on the defensive side of the ball, they're the reason why they have the record there is right now. With the Lions, their record doesn't indicate how hard they play for their coach, Dan Campbell. I've been a big Dan Campbell fan ever since he got the job with the Detroit Lions. I believe this game will be a lot closer than people realize. It will not be a blowout that Mile High Huddle and STR is saying.
No. And and what that is, it's a self-fulfilled prophecy. It means that they can really beat the war drums to get rid of the thing. Oh, the one thing they're saying, record. Oh, look at our record. The one thing that really gave them that record wasn't Pat Shermer.
John Elway.
It wasn't John Elway. Well, John Elway doesn't exist. Listen to them.
Oh, well, you listen to them, you want to it looks like you're talking to a brick wall when you listen to them, and you just want to smash your head in the wall. So I don't take anything I don't take anything away from them that I find credible. They're a bunch of morons.
So, but that's what's going to be the thing. You're going to see the beating of the drum. I mean, if they just squeak by in this game, you'll just see fire the coach. Yeah. And with no plan.
And see, this goes back to how dead right we are, because we said going into the Chiefs game that after that game, Teddy Bridgewater was going to get the drum is going to start to beat. You're going to have STR promoting Russell Wilson, Mile High Huddle, all these idiots. We're just a quarterback away.
Minshew, yeah. Gardner Minshew.
Ben Roethlisberger, Mike Kliss, Ben Roethlisberger. Guys like that, retreads. That's the type of team we are. We're going to go after retread quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, we will as long as the John Elway mentality persists. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, no, they yes. So we are diametrically different in every metric to these people. That's why, because as more and more fans start to get clued in, there's going to be a tipping point for people like us.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, I just don't know how many times you can be lied to as a fan by the same people. The same old tired message over and over again.
But those John Elway fans love it. They love being lied to. They love the sunshine and rainbows up their ass. They love it. They absolutely love it. So, yeah, that's they're morons over there. So I don't care.
So when the Detroit Lions play a stingy game, if not win it, play a stingy game, it's going to be shock. Oh my God, we're shocked. We're so shocked.
I can see the Lions pulling out a win here. I think they're going to come in not afraid of Denver, because no one is afraid.
They will. No, they're not going to be afraid of the Broncos. No. They
won their first game, and I think that's going to be a trickle effect for the whole season. I think they're going to feel confident in themselves. Like, okay, we've been believing in this system since day one. We've been playing hard for the coach. They have had games where they've had a combined score. They've lost by 9 points or less. And I think that's something that – go ahead.
Say that again. Repeat that again.
With the Lions, it's not every game, but lately over the past 2 months of the season, they have had games where they've lost 9 points or less. And they're in every single game. And I'm telling you guys right now, they run a power heavy scheme. And what I mean by that is going to cause problems for the Broncos defense unless Fangio comes up with something creative.
Question. So what you're telling me is the Detroit Lions have an identity?
Yes. They don't have this clown foot. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
That they don't rely on the 3 wide receiver sets. They don't go, back and forth. They don't do that bullshit. They stick to what works in Detroit, and that is offensively, their offensive line, power run scheme, play action in the middle of the field, and I'll get into that after you're done. Actually. I want to talk about that.
So what identity do the Denver Broncos have?
They have a quarterback identity. Well, you know what? Yeah, they have a zero identity, but they clamor for Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Gardner Minshew. That's their identity. They want to get a quarterback because they're just a fucking quarterback away. And the offensive line, forget the offensive line. Our offensive line is better than it was 6 years ago. Shut the fuck up with that crap. My God.
They said the same thing 6 years ago. That it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. The same people. That's why I started this channel. I just got sick and tired of listening to their same old garbage.
Bullshit.
I'm the old guy, and I'm newer and fresher than they are.
And I'm the young guy, and I'm batting 1,000.
Oh, we both are. We're definitely
both are correct.
Yeah, I mean, so anyway, you're gonna say the power run or whatever.
Yes, So I have right here. The power run scheme. The Lions O-line is better than Denver's. We're so shocked by that. Yeah. Lions love to attack the middle of the field with their tight ends and receivers, and I think that's going to cause problems with this linebacking core. I love Kenny Young and Baron Browning, but I think T.J. Hawkinson, Khalif Raymond's a former Bronco. I have it right here. What a shocker! He's thriving in Detroit right now. I mean, I believe
they get a little healthy dose of Trinity Benson at him.
Maybe. I don't know if he's hurt or not. I don't know. They sprinkle in some play action plays. with the offense for the Detroit Lions. They run a lot of quick out routes and slant routes. I think that's going to cause problems for our corners, especially a Patrick Surtain, who does not do well in open field tackling at all. He sucks at it.
Yeah, that's definitely not his forte.
Yes. Raymond, a former Bronco, TJ Hawkinson, I absolutely love. He is a combination of a pass catcher and a run blocker. He's a very sound run blocker, and they have tight ends that can run block, and I think they're going to utilize the 3 tight end sets, bring in an extra offensive lineman, and they're just going to run right at Denver because that's what everybody's been doing this season is running right up the middle at Denver.
Yes, we saw that in the Chiefs game quite a bit.
We've seen it with the Chiefs. We've seen it with the Chargers to some degree. We saw it with the Browns and the Ravens and the Steelers. I think they're going to come in with that smash mouth football model, and we're just going to be looking around like, we told you so. So,
yeah, and then it'll be, instead of analyzing the situation, it'll be the knee jerk.
Yeah.
Get rid of Bridgewater, get rid of Fangio. But this is the thing. I want to get, before you get into Detroit, I just want to go back to the Broncos and the toxicity. They grab a quarterback, just does it. Yeah. Oh, we'll find a coach. The coach will definitely, like Roethlisberger. Oh, they'll be clamoring to work for Roethlisberger is notorious anti-coach, coach killing. It's lucky Tomlin is in Pittsburgh, because if it was here, we'd have to keep firing coaches just to satisfy Ben Roethlisberger.
Absolutely. I think you're right on the money with this whole quarterback clamoring. We're not. I've been saying it since the offseason. The quarterbacks that Malachi Huddle and you guys want aren't coming here. They don't want to come here. And don't tell me with the whole fucking Stafford thing that, oh, we didn't include Drew Lock, so the Lions wouldn't accept that deal. Shut the fuck up.
That's not even true. That's not true.
And now
we know that's not true, because the Cleveland game told us and showed us without a doubt that's not true. They never had any. They didn't care about Locke. They would have sent Locke. Stafford did not want to come here. We addressed this in our part 1 video, all of it.
Absolutely.
So stop lying to us. Please stop lying to us.
Well, that's what they're notorious for, is lying and coming up with bullshit.
Yeah, and then being shocked when they're.
Oh my God.
Right, back to the Lions.
It's just you can't make this shit up. Lions struggle in the red zone. That's something that it was concerning to me, is they do struggle. They do have some red zone struggles, but I think with this defense, I think that they won't have those red zone struggles yet. Fangio's
wait a second. We'll be told that
defense is notorious for having a really good red zone defense, and I will give them that.
So that may be the Broncos' only saving grace.
Yes, and that's why I'm saying it's going to be a closer game than what people realize, because the Broncos' offense struggles in the red zone notoriously over the past 5-6 years. Now, they have a guy who I think is going to cause some problems with us. I think there's going to be 2 to 3 players offensively that I think are going to cause problems. I think the offensive line is going to play their butts off in this game for the Lions. I think TJ Hawkinson is going to be a Justin Simmons killer. I think they're going to line up with Justin Simmons, and TJ Hawkinson is going to expose.
Well, that's if Justin Simmons doesn't. That's if Justin Simmons doesn't put his tail between his legs, find somewhere on the field to hide.
Side of the field and go on the opposite side of the field like a dumbass. Josh Reynolds is a guy that I liked coming out of Texas A&M. He's a very sound route runner. Doesn't have elite speed, but he is very good at what he does best, and that is he gets himself open on a consistent basis. And I think that he will be good. Khalif Raymond's going to be that gadget player who they're going to do a lot of. They do a lot, and I've been telling people this. Me and you've been preaching this. What is the Broncos' number 1 struggle on defense? Or there's actually 2. No push up the middle and screen plays. And I think that with the Detroit Lions, you're going to see a little bit of that too. They're going to take what the Chiefs did, do those little dump passes to Williams. They're going to do a lot of screen plays with Khalif Raymond to try and get him upfield. He's that gadget player that I think is going to take the top off the defense for the Broncos.
So this is analysis you're not going to get anywhere. Nobody's going to talk about this stuff. This guy breaks the film down, and he's been looking at this since Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. Yep.
Since Tuesday of this week, he's been really analyzing what the strengths of the Lions and what they do. This is something the other channels, they just want to give you hype and bullshit. So this is why we say it's a no hype, no bullshit pregame.
So that's the offense for the Lions. Like I said, I think what you're going to see in this game is you're going to see a sprinkle in of play action, screen plays, gadget plays with Khalif Raymond. Amani St. Brown's a big physical wide receiver who I think is going to dominate a Ronald Darby. I love Ronald Darby. I think he's played good since his injury. I think he's come back, played decently well. But I think the size advantage and the physical advantage of Amani St. Brown is going to cause problems with the defense, especially in the red zone. They're going to use those big bodies, and that's what I saw with the Vikings, is that they use a lot of big bodies for Jared Goff to get those touchdowns, to do a lot of block screens, a lot of block plays. So I think that's what you're going to see. You're going to see a power run game / play action type Rich Scangarillo, Mike Munchak scheme.
All right. So now let's go to defense. I got to wrap this up because I got to go shopping for home.
I'll make this quick. The Broncos, if they do what they did last week, which is stick to the running game, I think they're going to have success on this defense running the football. The Lions are not a very good run stopping unit. They do. The one thing that I do like about their defense is their two linebackers, Alonzo and Baines from Purdue. They're like Kenny Young and Baron Browning. They're very sideline to sideline centric. What I mean by that is they have a lot of sideline to sideline speed. But when you run straight at them, the defensive line for the Lions struggles with that, especially in run stuffing. The linebackers are not very good run stuffers as well. So I think the Broncos can have success running the football if they stick to it. But I think that with John Elway and Pat Shurmur, they're going to be like, well, we gave you guys your game plan last week. It didn't work. So we're going to run the 3 wide receiver sets.
Yeah, I would anticipate that. What about pass rush? Yeah, pass rush.
Very good at the pass rushing unit. They have Deshaun Hand, Michael Brockers, Okora, and Trey Flowers. Those guys right there are mainly pass rushers, not run stuffers. And what I saw with the Vikings game especially is they were very creative in their blitz package sets, and they run a lot of cover 3, cover 4. They're not a man-to-man defense. They are more of a New Orleans Saints type of defense where they play off coverage, and they rely on that front 7 like the New Orleans Saints do. But with this type of defense, they can get home with 4 players. And they were able to wreck the offensive line for the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings offensive line isn't the best, but they've gotten better over the years. They got Garrett Bradbury. Brian O'Neill's one of the best right tackles in football, but that's the Vikings. They were able to do a lot of and this is why I think that the Broncos.
You're going to see that. You're going to see
a lot of stunt plays with the Lions defensive line, and we saw that especially with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, we've been seeing that all year, progressing. We've been seeing this progressing. So when this offensive line breaks down, and sometimes, like I say too, everybody in some of those plays they were blocking, but there was nobody to mind the gap. That fell on the coach. There was nobody to mind any gaps. So when we have offensive line breakdowns, who was going to get blamed for that?
Mike Munchak.
No, Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say, you could say both, Mike Munchak.
No, both. Yeah, but I mean, mainly because they probably don't even know who Munchak is, except for when they want to get him replaced.
Yeah. But I have right here, I think this is something that's going to confuse our.
Okay, wrap it up.
I think that the Lions is going to come in with a physical mindset in this game, and I think this is going to be a lot closer game than people realize. And I think if the Broncos come in with this game with a looking towards the Bengals mindset that STR wants to put out there, I think they can lose this game to the Lions. That's all I have to say.
It's going to be a very physical game, and I don't think that the Bronco fans you can't see me. Okay. Now you can. Now you can. That the Broncos, STR, they're not anticipating this to be a very physical game at all, right?
Yes.
Okay. So with that,
Sorry,
conclusion,
Mr. Freeze made an appearance, so just
yeah. So you were gonna say something about, I think it was the offensive line of the blitz packages and stuff like this. So.
A lot of stunt blitzes from the Detroit Lions, especially they're going to take away what Kansas City did last week. A lot of those, they're going to send one guy up the middle, then they're going to sneak a guy. And we saw that with Pittsburgh last year. They started doing that to Denver's offensive line, and it caused fits. So I think you're going to see that with the Detroit Lions. And Dan Campbell is a no bullshit nonsense coach, and he's going to take the weaknesses and he's going to exploit that with the Denver Broncos.
Plenty of weaknesses out there. And they would rely on their front seven to help their secondary out, right?
Yes, and the secondary plays a lot of off coverage, and they brought the Saints system over to Detroit, so you're going to see a lot of multiple coverage sets and a lot of off coverage, cover 4, cover 6 type sets from the Detroit Lions.
Okay, I'm going to try to pin all this together. It's going to be tough because Skype drops all that audio. See, I try to digitize the audio, then match it with the video. That's how I've done it before. It doesn't always work all the time. So again, it's like we're bringing this to you from a combat zone or something that, with interruptions and stuff like this. So hopefully I can get this patched up. I got a shit ton of work to do. I'm going to be working all the way into the night. So I'll have to work on this too. Plus I got still that Kansas City footage, everything going with that too. So this is what happens when you don't get paid for this stuff, but we're trying. One thing they can't say is they never did say we weren't trying. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
So I'll have to let you go now.
All right. I'll take care of it.
Hopefully we'll have a good post game. Okay. We'll have one that we can actually get done.
All right.
All right. Bye.